welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals of the Tenacious Turtle Tussle number 25. We are here, and again, it's been an intense tournament so far. We are down to our final two players, our final two Protoss players, and we're jumping in. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neo-Violet Square, we have the Polish Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the German Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Streamer Zone, as well as our teammates. It is Jumy. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat. As again, it has been an intense day of StarCraft. Fun fact, we were live at this point. At this point, what, like 14 hours ago, something like that? We were live earlier today with another tournament, and Gerald also made it to the finals. If you weren't here for it, I do recommend the VODs of Sparkling Tuna Cup, not to be confused with the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. Very different animal, very different beast. But during the Sparkling Tuna Cup, Gerald, he was in a best of 5 in the finals against Creator, went all the way to the ace match, went all the way to game 5, and Creator barely won it out. It was a very intense, very exciting best of 5. I do recommend the votes. It was a banger of a PvP, and now in a way history repeats itself. Gerald, he's back in the finals, back in the best of 5, back in another PvP, but this time not against Creator, this time against Jumy. Different beast in his own right, going for the proxy. Let's go. Likewise, it is a much later time for them. Oh my god, let's go. Gerald, he confirms there's no second pylon. He's asking, Papi, por favor, give me a second pylon. And Jumy telling him I'm going proxy Stargate. He's letting him know, and he's not lying. Second Stargate, so we're going for the proxy Stargate here. Likewise, Gerald threatening with the 4-gate blink. Oh no. Let's go. Oh no. As it looks like Gerald, he's setting up for the expansion. He's scouting. It looks like Gerald, he doesn't quite believe Jumy. He's looking for the proxy. Trying to figure out what's going on. And again, Gerald is aware that the pylon is missing. Oh my god. Gerald is aware. Gerald's going for his own Stargate opener. Okay. Interesting. Oracle's going to be on the way, I would imagine. Yeah, there we go. The first Oracle is in production. And Jumy will soon pull the trigger. Meanwhile, Gerald's back at home, securing himself. Can go for the initial Phoenix opener instead. Let us go. As Gerald, he will scout. Yeah, he will scout. He will confirm. Just barely gets eyes on the proxy. Jumy was telling the truth. Jumy's an animal, but he's an honest animal. He's no lies here. As the Oracle dives into the main, Stalker's in position, Phoenix on the way as well, shield battery is done, and Gerald, he's ready. He's ready for this. Is ready to secure. Jumy, I believe, did not scout the tech. He has not seen the main. He does not know that the Phoenix is on the way, and that this Oracle is in a lot of trouble. It's going to be a double Oracle opener here by Jumy. Is going to be committing quite hard. You see Gerald just waiting for the dive. Getting his own Oracle. Here we go. See some people asking in the chats, is Gerald Gerald? Gerald is Gerald. That is true. True. He's from Rivia, Papi. Is the Witcher. Beautiful. Gerald is building up. Do you have our initial Twilight Council follow-ups here? Both players working towards, I would imagine, Blink. Jumy has shown us his proclivity to go into DTs, so that's going to be on the table as well. As Jumy has yet to commit with those Oracles. Likewise, Gerald fortifying himself, securing his natural. So is Jumy. Oh, as the Phoenix will find the Oracles. Does come across them. Oracles are going to be chased back. They should survive. And Gerald, he's going for his own Oracle harass into the main. No shield battery. And no shield battery in position. 1, 2, 3 probes going to be going down. Can he go forward? Can he get... He's getting up to 6. As 6 probe kills, Oracle does get away. At the same time, Phoenix is going to be chased back. Oh, but he did end up sniping one of the Oracles. The Oracle did fall. Jumy unable to save one of them. Does catch the Phoenix though. Nice catch. Piece goes down. Jumy setting up his own proxy. And he's got 4 gates. Hey, 4-gate blink. It's going to be 4-gate blink out of Jumy. That's what Gerald said he was going to do. I mean, he is, kind of. He's working his way there. Gerald's with 3 gateways, I should emphasize. 3 gates and a forge. Jumy getting ready for his own counterattack. Gerald is going to be expanding. But he does not see the proxy right next door. Right next to his 3rd. As Jumy rotates, gets eyes on the 3rd expansion. Does confirm. And Jumy, he's won the trigger. He's moving out. Jumy does have the Stalker lead. He's up in Stalkers. He's going to be up in production. And Gerald sure he's working on +1, but +1 is not going to help. Not going to help here in the defense. As Jumy can outproduce Gerald. How good are the stasis traps going to be, though, for both players? As Jumy pokes in. Does he notice? Oh, he does! He baits out the stasis. Oh, he baits out the stasis. Dives on the army. And Jumy, he will overwhelm. There's a backup stasis, though. And he notices. Jumy, he's crazy. He sees everything. Oh my god. He sees everything. Likewise, pulling back. Oh, almost overextends. A better engage for Jumy. Knocking down the expansion, at least trying to. But it's more than just about the expansion. He wants to go for the kill. Looking to dive on the army. Blinking forward once again. Takes out more Stalkers. And Jumy falling back. Getting his own gold. Oh my god. Going for the gold. He's crazy. Is going for the gold. Jumy trying to bait out the army. Last girl doesn't take the bait. Oracle into the main. Stasis trap popping off. Gerald not quite paying attention. Stasis goes off. Massive connection. Instead, Gerald focusing across the map. Third base goes down. Massive stasis goes off as well. And Jumy just pulling Gerald apart. Pulling him left and right. Jumy may have lost 9 probes. But he's pushing in. He will not bring down the cannon. And G overcharged a little bit too good. It keeps the cannon alive. Jumy falling back. Back up stasis trap. Oh no! Once again, late reaction from Gerald. Massive stasis. And Jumy, he might be down in workers, but he has the gold. The gold base is getting up and running. Jumy still maintains map control. He's trying to. Gerald's rotating around. Does find the 4th gate. Will knock it down. Jumy falling back. And can Jumy take advantage of this gold? Likewise, Gerald taking the pocket base. Stasis goes off. Gerald's going for the pocket expansion. Gerald, I believe he has not scouted the gold. He is unaware of what's going on. The gold base is getting saturated. And Jumy is going to be reinforcing with charge lots. That's going to be his mineral sink here. Going into mass charge lot, +1 on the way. 3 more gates. I believe going to be 6 in total. Here we go. Jumy is moving out. See in chat, smells like stream sniping. What's your name? Shot in the chat. Don't insult players like that. I would advise not to insinuate something like stream sniping. There's no reason to assume that either one is doing that. So watch yourself. Would say watch yourself. As Jumy is taking his gold. Getting his 4th. And both players, they are stabilizing, they're building up. Of course, Jumy does have the advantage of the gold base, so he can reinforce with a lot of zealots. And oh, that's a kill, not a cancel. A massive pickup, the base goes down, and likewise stasis goes off, and Gerald, he's going to be losing everything here. The stalkers are falling left and right. Stasis runs out, but Jumy He should still break through. Breaks through the Stalkers. Reinforcements on the way. Slow warp-ins for Jumy. It is slowing him down, but he just has an overwhelming amount of Stalkers here. I mean, the Pogo base is helping, but it's only half a base. Like, there's barely any resources to take advantage of. Jumy can just outproduce. The upgrades are helping, and plus 2 is now done for Gerald. That will help. Going for his own Dark Shrine. Let's go. Going for his own DTs. Bay is on the way for Disruptors. I mean, we all know that Gerald, he is quite fond of his Disruptors in PvP. But he needs more time. Gerald, he needs more time. As Jumy, he rotates, knocks down the expansion. Likewise, Gerald's moving out across the map. Does catch a reinforcements, not bad. Takes down some reinforcements, does come across the gold base. Oh, but the recall is in time. Jumy, he races back home. He's in position, coming in for the surround. Gerald, he gets caught out. Not like this. I mean, Gerald, he was already up against the wall, already up against the ropes, and will be bleeding out even more Stalkers. With that, Gerald, he's just buying time. He's just buying time, dragging the army all the way to the corner of the map. Back at home, Disruptors are on the way, and this is a way to bounce back. You might be down in supply, you might be down 20, 30, 40 army supply, but with a couple of well-placed Novas, you can bounce back in this game. We have seen that before, we can see it again, but that is really the only move here for Gerald. It's a bit of a Hail Mary play with the Disruptors. And DTs as well, true. So this is going to be Gerald's only chance. And if he can land those Novas, he can bounce back in this game. As Jumy moves out. Likewise, Gerald's going for a ninja base. You love to see it. Going for bottom left. Meanwhile, Jumy does slip into the main. A bit of a delayed reaction here from Gerald. Likewise, Jumy does scout, does confirm. Denies the expansion, diving into the main. The Disruptors and Novas, they don't quite go off. They go down one after the other, and Jumy, he breaks through. And the Hail Mary play doesn't quite work out here for Gerald. Doesn't have enough. Disruptors on the way. DTs are going to be waddling in. But there's detection. There's the Observer. And the Observer was already here anyway. Yeah, and bold move here for Gerald, but he just could not quite keep up. And Jumy should be starting off here with a lead in the series. As this game of the production, GG gets called, and Jumy takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. A very chaotic start to the game. Again, it all started with Jumy letting Gerald know that he was proxying the Stargate, and the initial Stargate did not do any damage, if you remember. Did go for an Oracle opener, and Gerald shut it down with the Phoenixes, but that did end up leading into a longer game state. It did come down to Jumy being able to break through. And with that, here we go. Getting into game number 2. And we'll see where we do head next. Here we go. So getting into game number 2 here. Gonna be a Whispers of Gold. Let's go. But yeah, a lot of it came down to, if you remember, Jumy, he went for the proxy gateway into 4-gate blink. With that, he was able to deny the third. He denied the third base. If you remember, it was denying the third base and also DTs. They hit the main base and the natural at the same time, and that was the moment when everything swung in favor of Jumy. Unfortunately, Gerald was unable to keep up. With the DT, with the multi-prong harassment. With that, he was pulled apart, and Jumy never really lost momentum from there. Never really lost it. And now we're getting into game number 2. We are getting into game 2, and here we go. We're going to be continuing the series, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the Polish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Streamer Zone down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the German Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Streamer Zone as they are teammates, leading the series 1-0. It is Jumy. Here we go. Now we go from the largest map of the map pool to the smallest map instead, or actually, I'm not entirely certain if this is smaller than El Dorado, but El Dorado doesn't count. It's fine. It doesn't count anyway, Papi. Don't worry about it. We're loading just Whispers of Gold, a very small map, short rushes and spike ground, and the bases are exposed, the natural, the third, the fourth. They are much more open compared to maps like Ley Lines or Ultra Love, for example, so aggression can be favored. It can be more difficult to defend some of these fringe bases. We'll see how our players open up. As a reminder as well, Jumy last game did go for the initial proxy. This time there is no probe out on the map though. This time everything is looking secure back at home. Everything is looking secure. As both players are going to be building up. Here we go. Gerald coming in with a probe scout. Jumy, he does send out a probe. It looks like this is going to be for a hidden proxy pylon. I do like the use of this, especially in extended series. In game one, because it was a very real proxy, to go for a fake proxy pylon is just a really good mind game here for Jumy. As Gerald, he confirms that the pylon is missing, and Gerald, I mean, I wouldn't blame him for believing that there is a committed proxy somewhere on the map once again, especially on Whispers of Gold. So we do have a double stalker opener here from Gerald, likewise from Jumy as well. 2 stalkers apiece. Gerald, he moves out with the second probe, so already damage is being done. Already we're losing extra mining time. Gerald, he does scout one of the probes, as it is going to be the scouting probe from Jumy. Likewise, Gerald, he's checking top right. And with both these workers, he might come across the proxy. The scout is denied. But Gerald, he doesn't quite hug the edge of the map. He's still looking for the proxy, looking in the wrong place, and Gerald, he will not find it. Not quite find it, but he will confirm the follow-up attempted expansion. Goes to the pylon block. Yeah, will attempt to block, will attempt to delay. Meanwhile, Stargate opener out of Gerald. Pylon is denied. And you can see Gerald, he's still looking. He's still looking for the pylon. He sends out and fans out 2 more stalkers. He will eventually find this and eventually... Oh, no! He does re-rally. And there we go. He does find the pylon. Now he confirms that there is no real proxy. He can race back. Can now race back home. He can rest easy, and both players now expanding. Jumy does have a slightly faster expansion compared to Gerald. So slightly better economy here for Jumy. And we'll see if Gerald can recover and bounce back. The goal here, the hope at least for Gerald, is to harass with the Oracle. To harass, to get into the mineral lines, to get some probe kills, to catch up. And we'll see if he can. He can. Oracle moves out. Jumy was on patrol, does zone away. Oracle is forced back. Blue Station likewise confirms there's no second Oracle yet. As Gerald, he does bypass the main army. And back at home, Jumy's getting in position. Shield battery is done. Stalkers are likewise in position as well. Blink is on the way. Oh! Oracle taking a lot of hits. Oracle does take a lot of damage. Gerald comes in from behind. Does snipe the sentry. Not bad. Sentry goes down. So Oracle does rotate towards the main. Going for the stasis. Jumy does react in time, does pull away. 1 probe gets caught. So far, so good for Jumy. Oh, second. Oh my god. Second stasis. Oh my god, getting 1 probe. Jumy did pull away. Does pull away, does preserve his workers. From here, we can calm things down. Both players working towards Blink. Now, as a reminder, Gerald's Blink is delayed because of the Stargate, because of the Oracle. Now, thankfully, Gerald has retained the Oracle, is still alive, so we can always dive back in for another run-by, another dive. Can still gain value, as there's the Edgy Overcharge. And Gerald, he's not out of this yet. Stood up, say, shade in towards the natural. Jumy, nothing at him to defend. Probes are going down. He gets 1, he gets 2. Should get, never mind, gets 1. Gets one probe. Ooh, takes the stasis to the face. Gerald, he can shut this down. Unfortunately, no blink. So Gerald, he cannot dive in. Nice force fields here by Jumy. Does delay the move out. Sentry will fall. But Jumy, he will at least preserve his Stalkers. Stalkers, they get away. Blink is done in 10 seconds for Jumy. And with that, he can escape. Going for the recall. Bleeds out 1, 2. 2 Stalkers go down. Jumy does recall back home. Does recall back. As Jumy is being active. Threatening a shade towards the natural. Does commit. Shades on in. Gerald is going to clean him up. Takes down 1, takes down both the Fs, but not without losing 2 probes. Likewise, Gerald across the map here. Stasis into the main base. Jumy, he's distracted. Does pull away. Pulls away in time. Third base under fire. Stasis. Oh my god. Doesn't quite go up. Jumy so far. He's holding his own. Oh no! As he does run into the stasis. And that means this third base could go down. Yeah, Gerald, he could dive in. Could try to commit here. But now playing it safe. Rotates around. Reinforcing with more Stalkers. Waiting for the rest of his army. Getting his own third. And the stasis is going to run out. Looking at the units tab, Gerald does have a slight Stalker lead. And he will blink into the main. And he just bypasses the main army, goes to the main base instead. Gets a pylon. Gets 1, going for the second. Oh, doesn't quite get it. And Gerald, he's going to be punished. Waiting with the army. Gerald, he commits a little bit harder, bleeding out more Stalkers. Forced out. And that was a better trade for Jumy. Even though Gerald did have more Stalkers, he didn't have all his Stalkers in the main. He left some behind. Gerald is forced back home. Oracle across the map. Into the third. Jumy is keeping up. Stasis going off. Jumy pulls away just in time. 3 probes get caught. Likewise, Oracle into the main as well. Oh, and this time, massive connection. Yeah, probes that do get stasis, they get caught out. Jumy, he's across the map. He is about to have high ground vision. He dive into the main. Doesn't quite go for it. Not yet. The main army gets spotted by Jumy. He's going for the counterattack. He's going for the natural. It does force a recall. Jumy backs off. Doesn't like his chances. Will retreat from here. DTs into the mineral lines. But there's a cannon here at the natural. And the cannon is set. Likewise, nice warp in here from Jumy. Does wall off. Pylon goes down. Gerald has momentum. Does have the supply advantage. Jumy racing back. Stasis goes off once again, catching out more probes. And despite Gerald being down in workers, I mean, he has had a better economy. And likewise, he goes for the 4th. Gets a pylon. Not much more than that. Going to be forced back. Jumy is up in upgrades. Can out trade Gerald. Gerald does have the higher Stalker count though. Forcing Jumy back. Jesus, Gerald has been so active here. Non-stop stasis trap, Stalker as well. I mean, Stalker aggression, I mean. Jumy getting a 5th. Gerald getting his 4th up and running. He's getting his 4th base. Pulling away. And both players building up. Now the stasis trap. Jumy getting caught out with 2 probes. Gerald's hoping to bait out the army as well. Jumy does have the observer. Can spot the stasis traps. Gerald's continuing DT harassments, going for the 5th. And the 5th base is going to be denied. It's diving on the army, actually. Side of the army, the base will survive. Charge still on the way here for Jumy. It's still very tense. Very tense game state, and Gerald still wants that base. He's not going to get it though. Jumy's in position. So far he holds. Likewise DTs that ran into cannons. Jumy's ready for them. He's holding on. Jumy's holding. Both players, they're just calming things down, building up. Gerald getting his own 5th base. Still down a base. Down in workers. But neither player really has any higher form of tech. There are no Archons, for example. There are no Archons, no Disruptors, not yet. And Gerald now taking up, going for Blink DTs. But still very gateway heavy. Very get heavy as Gerald. He's still trying to look for a way in. Likewise, going to be engaging. Does engage. Gerald going to be forced back. He's going to be forced back here. No major commitments yet. DT is going to get caught out. And no major damage. Jumy does have the supply lead. He's up in Stalkers, even on Zealots. And Gerald, he has no splash damage. He can't really fight head on, not like this. Likewise, Jumy's also up in upgrades. He has +2 compared to the +1 of Gerald. Gerald has to be careful getting caught out. Has to pull away. Does have to pull back, warping into the main. So far, Gerald keeps up. Denies the War Prism. Yeah, Jumy just pulling Gerald apart. I mean, Jumy does have the supply lead. So supply-wise, just pulling Gerald apart left and right. Gerald, he's holding his own. Jumy collapsing on the left. It's still just purely a gateway army as well. From both sides. Roba's now on the way for Gerald. Love to see it. But Perps are going down. Jumy breaks into the mineral line. Finally getting damaged. 12 workers going down. 12 workers do fall. Gerald trying to chase this down. But there's else to punish. And Gerald, he's bleeding out too many Stalkers. Has to pull back. Has to pull away. Gerald, he's holding his own. Jumy going for his own Dark Shrine. Love to see it. But still no Templar Archives, no Bay. None of the sorts. Who needs Disruptors? I mean, they'd be nice here. Would be nice. Speaking of Bays on the way, so Jumy going for both tech structures. The Bay and the Dark Shrine. Typically, it's Gerald's going for the tech first. Like, I mean, we've seen him time and time again rush into a faster Bay, into faster Disruptors. That is not the case here for Gerald. I mean, his robot just now finished. He's been playing Roboless like the entire time. Jumy's getting forced back. You see Gerald getting into +3. Jumy likewise keeping up. Trying to keep up. Base is denied. Both armies are maxed. This can also hurt Jumy a little bit here. Even though Jumy has a Bay, he can't make any Disruptors without losing supply. Probes are going down. Gerald's going for a big committed move out here on the right. Trying to pull Jumy apart. Gerald now working towards Immortals. Likewise, DTs, they bust into the main. Gerald, he can't quite commit in though. He has to respect the army, has to pull back. Gerald's being forced back on both sides. DTs, they get some damage done, but nothing major. Likewise, still no disruptors. As Jumy does force a cancel. Does cancel the expansion. Warpin slips into the main. And Gerald, nothing quite in position. He can try to recall. Speaking of, there's the recall back home. Gerald, he goes for the recall. Likewise, falling back to his cannons. Some better engagements here by Jumy. But Jumy does overextend. Trying to force his way and takes down the Otosis pylon. Powers the cannons. Warpin gets denied. War Prism gets denied. Gerald defends. He defends back at home. Jumy trying to rally his army together. And I'll be honest, I'm not used to seeing like I feel so like unnerved. Like getting into a 20-minute game or 60-minute game at this point with purely gateway armies. Like there's no further tech. I mean, now we have one Immortal. It's about to go down. I spoke too soon. Immortal does fall, and a better engage here from Gerald. Does collapse on the Stalkers. Massive pickups. Stalker's going to be going down. Gerald being chased back. Snipes the expansion. Gerald has to retreat. Falling back. He's being overwhelmed. Celtic coming in from behind. At least they're trying to. And Gerald setting up the surround. But he gets surrounded. The Zelts cleaned up. Likewise, DTs, they hit the Nolan base. The cannon goes down. And probes are going to fall thereafter. And finally, damage is being done. Probes are falling. Jumy getting pulled apart. Likewise, War Prism into the main, denying an upgrade. +2 is denied. Jumy wreaking havoc. Did lose 9 probes, but there's a massive warp of Stalkers back at home. Oh, the move command! No! Oh my god! Gerald, the move command runs through the army, bleeds out a couple of units. And 10 probes going to be going down. And the damage she's dealt before, I mean, now it's reciprocated. Jumy moving out towards bottom left. Geralt out of position. It did race over. And this base is going to go down. And Geralt knows where he needs to be instead of going for a counterattack. I do like this. And this one he has to. He's going to commit, trading a base for a base. Jumy recalls back home. Yeah, recalls just in time, but Geralt does have the supply lead. Jeez, he has a massive Stalker army. He's got 37 Stalkers. Oh my god. To the 17 of Jumy. He's crazy. 37 Stalkers. Dives on the army. And he's going to be able to break through. Yeah, he's hit critical mass. Almost 40 Stalkers for Geralt. Blinking in, pushing in towards the natural. Jumy just can't keep up. Does have the better upgrades. He's got 3-3-2. Crazy upgrades for Jumy. Jumy coming in for the surround. Zelda doing a great job buffering. Yeah, Jumy's holding on. He's going to be holding on with a more efficient army. Does buffer. Does force Geralt back. Geralt, he needs reinforcements. And again, they're coming. They're on the way. But Jumy holds. Jumy, he does hold on. He's going to be holding, catching out more of these Stalkers. Better concave here, better engagement of the ramp. And Geralt, this is just a rough trade for him. Again, remember, he's just down in these upgrades. He just has worse Stalkers. He cannot trade head-on like that. And Geralt, he lost 2 bases. If you recall, he lost 2 expansions. He doesn't really have much saturation going on. He's long-distance mining. He's oversaturated. He has no sustain. He has no sustainability here. Geralt, he's running out of steam. And for the first time in a long time, Jumy takes a massive supply lead of 40 supply. And it does corner the army, forces the recall. Forcing Geralt back. DTs, they do hit the expansion. I mean, a lot of probes are falling. He can even snipe the expansion. But does Jumy care? At this point, does he care, Pat? He dives in. going for the kill, going for the third. Zelse busts into the mineral line. And Gerald, he can't quite keep up. GG gets called, and Jumy takes a 2-0 lead and is one game away from becoming this week's champion. GG. Oh my god. Jumy. A very chaotic game. Very chaotic. Very, again, uneasy game as well, to just be stuck and locked into this kind of like low tier army, just purely gateway units, purely Zealots and Stalkers. There was that one time that Gerald made one Immortal. There was one Immortal made in that game. That was it. That's all he ever made. Even Jumy had a Bay, but never went into Disruptors. He had like 2 Robos. He had 2 Robos, he had a Bay, but never really embraced Disruptor production. Just purely Blink Stalker Zealots. There were definitely times where there were moments for Gerald, but they were fewer and farther between. For the most part, Jumy, he was upper base. He was upper base, up an expansion. He could afford some of these trades with the greater economy. Jumy got away with better upgrades, you know, with a second forge into shield upgrades, armor. He had 3-3-2 at the end of the game, just had a massive upgrade lead. So in these head-on fights, I mean, he was just out trading Geralt. He was just out trading him, even at times when Geralt did have a much larger Stalker count. Even then, wasn't quite enough. Was not quite enough. And with that, we're getting into potentially the final game of the series. Potentially. I mean, coming into this, I was not expecting a 3-0 in either direction. Either for Jumy or Geralt. I was expecting more of a back and forth, but Jumy is one game away. One of us. One more game is all he needs. And we're going to be loading into Abyssal Reef up next. Let's go. Let us go. Geralt has been holding on pretty damn well, but it looks like it's over soon. Yeah, it's one of those things where Geralt, he was perpetually like behind in the economy, behind in bases, down in upgrades. Despite that, he was holding his own for so long in that game, which was impressive, but was having a bit of a harder time really gaining much momentum. And with that, we're now getting into game number 3, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Abyssal Reef, we have the Polish Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Streamer Zone. Down in the series, down heavily here. He has to fight back here and now to have a chance in this series, in this match. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the German Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Streamer Zone, as they are teammates, leading the series 2-0, one game away from taking the entire series and becoming our champion. It is Jumy. Will we see the proxy, bro? It's possible. I mean, Jumy has gone for a proxy pylon every game so far. In game 1, we had a committed proxy Stargate. In game 2, we did see a fake out of Jumy, going for a fake proxy pylon instead. We'll see if this time it's real or another fake out. So we are loading into Abyssal Reef. Abyssal Reef is one of the larger maps in the map pool. Very large map, long rush distance by ground, a lot of bases to be taken, very defendable bases as well. If we wanted to enter a more standard back and forth mid game, I do think this is the game to do it on. You know, to embrace 3-4 base saturation, getting into a higher disruptor count, Archons, Immortals. I do feel like Geralt should be a little bit more comfortable on a larger map like this, but we'll see. The pressure is on. The pressure is on. Something we should also emphasize as well, is that both Jumy and Geralt are very sleep deprived, very much so. It's like, what, 4 a.m. in the morning for them, and they were both like a little bit exasperated in the chat coming into this. I was giving them praise. I was definitely thanking them for competing at such a rough time zone, and they were like, we're all good. We're oh no. You can definitely tell that they're definitely tired, definitely out of it a little bit. It's all good. Especially Geralt, as Geralt, this is his second tournament of the day. Jumy less so. Jumy was streaming before this, true. He was streaming. He was laddering. But Geralt has been competing all day, in the morning and in the evening. So definitely a battle of endurance here for both players. Who's the bigger degen? So now we are going to be settling in. It is going to be a 2-gate opener out of Geralt, likewise 2-gate opener out of Jumy. This time the second pylon was placed in the main. This time there is no fake or real proxy pylon. Ooh, the pylon will complete for Geralt. That will delay the expansion a little bit longer. And Geralt should be taking his own. So slightly faster expansion for Geralt. Next is going to be on the way. Jumy back at home. His own base is going to be delayed. Going to be a delayed expansion. Hallucination moves out. Geralt making sure that there is no hidden tech, to make sure that there is going to be an expansion, to make sure there's no one base all in. So Geralt, he does confirm. does rotate around, and does get eyes on the Nexus. So Gerald is fully aware of what's going on. Likewise, Jumy going to be poking up the ramp. Gerald is in position. More importantly, he has force fields. He has force fields. It's a very narrow ramp. One force field is all you need to slice up the army. So Gerald is very secure. There's a reason why we mentioned before this map is known for mid to late game. Just because it's so difficult to really break a player on 2 and 3 bases. It's very defendable. It is very defendable here. As Gerald, he's taking up towards the Twilight Council. Likewise, so is Jumy. He breaks out the force fields. And he shuts down one of those stalkers. Does get picked up. Very nicely done. Very nice damage. Gerald, he picks up a stalker. Likewise, back at home, we have Blink on the way. And I would imagine that Gerald's headed in the same direction. Hallucination will confirm. Does get eyes on Blink. I'm sure Gerald, too, was tempted to go for a Dark Shrine, but Blink is on the way. And Gerald is setting up for an expand. Now, as Gerald is setting up for a third base, we have Jumy going for a faster forge. We saw last game, we did take notice that Jumy was very far ahead in upgrades. And with this faster forge, he will have a lead in upgrades once again. We'll have a lead. Gerald moves out. Vying for map control, runs into the main army. Nice force fields once again, locking down Jumy. Gets another stalker. At the same time, Jumy, he shades into the natural, 2 adepts taking 1-shot probes, and he forces a recall. And the recall forces another the recall on recall, love to see it. Jumy races back home, so did Gerald. Both players back off. Gerald is going to be the first to expand. Oh no, actually slightly later. Both players expanding, both players taking their thirds. We're calming things down, and we're building up. As the reps, they do get caught out. Jumy forcing them back. Gerald does shade away. Does save the adepts. And Gerald just now going for his own forge. Again, he's going to be slightly behind in those upgrades. But he will be trying to keep up. He's going to be keeping up. So far, so good. And now we can calm things down. Both players are expanding, they're saturating their bases, building up their gate counts. They have an age gate set up here from Jumy. Gerald does confirm. And now we can settle in. And again, this is the other big advantage of the current modern age of PvP is the non-stop hallucination scouts. They can make sure that they're saturating, that they're probing, they're expanding. Jumy setting up a proxy on the right-hand side. And Gerald, he does scouts, does confirm. Does get eyes on the proxy, will force a cancel. Nicely done. Likewise, our players are taking up. Charge going to be on the way. +2 does begin for Jumy. Getting into immortal production, and I can already see it here that Gerald, I'm sure he's planning to go into those disruptors. It's a tech structure that Gerald has avoided this entire series. I mean, again, game 1 and game 2 were just a little bit too intense for that sort of thing, but Gerald should have the breathing room to tech up in that direction into disruptors. 2 probe kills at the third. 2 workers go down. Gerald pulling away. And we can settle down. We can calm things down. We have Jumy taking his fourth. Gerald's a little bit later to do so. Gerald instead taking up, going for a Dark Shrine. Jumy is heading in a more standard direction, going for the Temple Archives. This should be for Archon production, so Stalker, Charge or Archon, Immortal. Standard stuff. And we mentioned before, I mean, we always try to bring this up, but Gerald, he's one that typically does skip Temple Archives and skip Archons. He's one to base disruptors, and there it is, there's the Bay. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what Gerald is known for. His signature move is to rush into disruptors. Something that he hasn't done at all this series until now. Just because we can finally settle into a more standard game. So disruptors are on the horizon. We'll see if Gerald can get there, though. He needs a little bit more time. The base still on the way. Jumy, massive warp in, coming in with more zealots, more archons. And there is a window. True, there is a window in time where Jumy has a chargeable Archon Stalker, and Gerald does not have disruptors. So Gerald is vulnerable. He is vulnerable. And Jumy, can you go for the kill? Knocking down those rocks. Pushing towards a fourth. Another wave of reinforcements. Another Archon on the way. Jumy set up for a flank. Set up for a surround. Geralt is down in supply. And Jumy, he has +2 over his opponent. He has the upgrades. He has the army. He's going in. And there is a shield battery. There's a cannon. Energy overcharge is going to be available as well. Zealots are going to be melting. But the Archons are holding their own. So far, Jumy pushing forward, and he will take down the expansion. Yeah, the Nexus is going to fall. That's really all that Jumy wanted. Deny the base, maintain a greater economy, and be perpetually ahead in supply. So Jumy's up 10 workers, he's up a base, and he can now outproduce Geralt. Meanwhile, Geralt, his first disruptor, has arrived. The first disruptor is out. Second robot for double disruptor production. Now, even though Geralt is down in supply, or he should soon be down in supply once the space kicks in, he can make up for it with those purification novas. So Geralt, he has a lot of potential with his army. If they connect, then the fight can heavily swing in Geralt's favor. If they don't, then Jumy can overwhelm. Jumy going for it. Let's go. Jumy teching up. Okay, I assumed that he was just going to warp in and try to knock down the fourth base for a second time. That is not the case. Jumy's getting a fifth, maintaining his economic lead, and he's taking up into his own disruptors. So we're getting into disruptor wars. Let's go. Both players going to be embracing their balls. Love to see it. Beautiful. Nova's going to be upon us. We're getting there. As Jumy does threaten to dive into the main. Likewise rotating over. So far, Gerald is keeping up. He's going to be rotating around. Nova goes up. Ooh, massive connection. Yeah, the first Nova does connect. There's a second Nova here available as well. Gerald is holding onto it. Does run away. Likewise, Prism in towards that third. Oh, sorry, in towards the fourth. Third even. But Gerald, he will defend. He shuts down. He denies the warp in. One disruptor goes down. Nice target firing here out of Jumy. He gets one. But it's not going to be enough. Yeah, Gerald, he can just dive in. He can chase this down. The Novas are brutal. The Prism going down as well. And Jumy, he will lose everything. The Immortals, the Archons, he barely escapes with some army. Behind this, going into his own disruptors, but Gerald has momentum. Heavily in his favor. He's up 30 supply. And he can soon move out. Now, what I was saying earlier about Gerald, it now applies to Jumy, where even though Jumy is down in supply, I mean, he has disruptors. So he can pop off. He can bounce back. With some well-placed Novas. So this can still go either way. As both players are building up. Stargate on the way for Jumy. This could be the beginning of Sky Toss into a Fleet Beacon, into Carrier or Tempest. Speaking of, Stargate also on the way for Geralt. Both players are taking up. Both players are thinking about Sky Toss. Nova goes up. Oh, Geralt not paying attention. Massive Nova, massive connection. Once again, grazing those Stalkers. Jumy will lose one disruptor, but that was worth it. Was worth it for Jumy. Nova's turning away. Oh. No major connection. Jumy forced to cancel. But he's working on his 6th. Both players being active. Gerald's coming in from behind. Going for a DT counterattack. Oh, nice connection. Gerald takes down 2 disruptors. Another Nova connects. Yeah, the Novas are popping off. Jumy losing every single disruptor here. That was what? 4 disruptors going down. He's down to 1. Some brutal losses. Oh, sorry, 3 disruptors going down. 1 left for Jumy. He chases him down, takes down the Archon. Nice snipe. Gerald's now on 7 disruptors compared to the 2 of Jumy. Ay, ay, ay. So a very chaotic fight. Did go the way of Gerald. Meanwhile, DTs, they do get across the map. They blink in, and they go for the cannon. Cannon goes down, mineral line as well. Jumy getting torn apart. He's going for his own counterattack. And he has to commit. Gerald out of position is racing back home. Fifth base goes down. It takes a long time here for Gerald to respond. He is racing back. Oh, second guessing himself. Nova's going up. No major connections. Up. Better towards the end. Gerald hopefully ideally trying to collapse on this army. He's maxed out. Doesn't quite get this round he was hoping for. Nova connects. But again, Jumy just doesn't really have much left to work with. Nice blink here from Gerald. Takes down the final disruptor. Mothership is on the way for Jumy. For Gerald as well. Let's go. Jumy slightly ahead. When it comes to this mothership timing, I mean. But Jumy, he can't hold on to these expansions. It's not going to happen. Base is going to fall. Gerald's still in control. This is Jumy that other player was playing for. Exactly. I like it. I like it. The other player was playing for Jumy, and this is Jumy. Confirmed. His debut pack. Oh my god, as Gerald, he will snipe the expansion. Nexus goes down. Jumy down to 4 bases. Oh. Ooh, as Jumy does take the Novas to the face. A bit of a trade there. Gerald is the first to max out. Prism into the main. Because Gerald is maxed, he doesn't really have much to warp in. Warping in 2 DTs. Tempest has arrived. Getting into Sky Toss. Main army's going to be engaging. Oh! Never goes up. Nice connection. Takes down 3 disruptors. Disruptors go down. Meanwhile, DT's racing across the map. The Novas, they go up. Oh my god, massive connections. Jumy was distracted. And was paying attention elsewhere. Gonna be torn apart. Both players activated cloak. Both players disengaging. Or I should say, Gerald disengaging. Goes to the slow zone. Again, Gerald, he is quick to remax. He was stuck at home, stuck defending, but now we can move out. So he can move out with Tempest, with his Stalkers. You have Tectonic Destabilizers finishing up as well. Making 2 Tempests at a time. Jumy can't maintain these losses. Oh my god, massive connections! The Novas, they pop off! And this is the girl we've been waiting for in this series. Finally, he has his disruptors. He does what he does best. The Novas, Pappy, they've been crazy. GG, well played, and Gerald, he will fight back. He will put a point on the board. GG. Whew. Oh my god. GG, well played. Gerald, this time finally able to embrace a stable economy on 4 bases. Did struggle taking a 5th, but he was able to tech up into his disruptors. We saw the Novas pop off heavily in favor of Gerald. Did pull Jumy apart, not just with disruptors, with DT counterattacks as well. He was sniping mineral lines. He was sniping bases as well. He was all over him. And with that, we have a series. We have a back and forth. Gerald, he does fight back, but it's not over yet. It's not over yet here. Gerald, he's still up against the wall. He's still... Oh, Jumy is still on match point. And Jumy still only needs 1 more win to be our champion. Gerald, can he force the ace match? We're here to find out. Here to find out, as our next game is going to be on King's Cove. There we go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of King's Cove, we have the Polish Protoss player, the blue Protoss, fighting back in this series, putting a point on the board, and can he bring us to the ace match? I mean, I'm hoping so. I'm a little bit greedy like that. Would love to see an ace match, would love to see a game 5, but the pressure is on. We have the Polish Protoss player for Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the German Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Streamer Zone, as well as their teammates. One game away from becoming this week's champion. It is Jumy. The infamous Jumy. For so long, they've been playing for Jumy, and now he's playing for himself. He's playing for himself, yeah, crazy, crazy. Let's go. As we are spawning into and loading into one of the larger maps in the map pool. Not as large as Abyssal Reef, I should emphasize that, but a large map nonetheless, a lot of bases to be taken. What I will say though, the biggest difference between King's Cove and Abyssal Reef is how exposed the 4th and 5th base are. Unlike Abyssal Reef, the 4th and 5th base are much more exposed, they're much more vulnerable, they're much more exposed to the elements themselves, and as a result, it can be more difficult to actually maintain those bases, especially if you do not have map control. So we'll see how aggressive our players are going to be. Probe dips in. Is going to be a 2-gate opener here from Jumy. And he does move out of the probe, going for another proxy pylon. We've seen this almost every single game this series. We didn't see this on Abyssal Reef, but we saw it in Game 1 and Game 2. And it looks like a fake proxy pylon. Jumy hoping to force an overreaction from Gerald. Gerald, he scouts, he confirms, and he goes for his own proxy pylon in the main. Let's go. The call is coming from it's coming from inside the house. Does Jumy realize what's going on? Does he scout? For now, he's focusing on chasing down that probe, going for his 2-gate opener, Stalker into his own sentry. Likewise, back at home, double Stalker opener out of Gerald, something much more aggressive, something much more assertive. Again, he doesn't really know what's going on. And Jumy goes for his own pylon next to the pylon of Gerald's, and with that, he knows. He's aware of what's going on. This pylon should be shut down. And you can see Jumy does reroute, does rally over towards the corner of his main. We'll catch the pylon. Again, this is not the first time that we've seen Gerald go for the pylon in the main. We saw this earlier in the previous series as well. Did see this in Gerald's series against Creator, I should emphasize. And Creator was also able to shut it down. Eventually. Meanwhile, pylon block across the map. Meanwhile, Gerald, he scouts, he confirms, and he does find the pylon. Very nice scouting pattern here from Gerald. He does skirt around the edge of the map. He does confirm the fake proxy pylon. And now he knows he can just calm down. He can just settle in, build up back at home. Did go for his own Stargate opener, Stargate into Oracle. Meanwhile, Jumy opening up Twilight Council. Okay. Both players going to be expanding. Jumy, of course, does re-rally over towards that pylon to save it. The army gets scouted. Gerald, he's aware he's in danger. And we should soon be seeing a recall. Pylon is going to go down. One more volley. There's a recall just in time. And the pylon, the Stalker is going to be saved just in time. Does race back home. Clutch moves there by Gerald. Does make it back. Blink is on the way for Jumy. And Geralt is going to be a little bit further behind there in that sense. But he does have that Oracle. It's moving out across the map. Jumy checking his vision. He did scouts. He did scout the Stargate. He's ready for the Oracle. Stalkers are in the main. Shield battery as well. Jumy is ready. Jumy's ready in the main. We'll lose 2 probes, and Gerald not losing much hull damage. Not bad. Not sustaining much hull damage. Oh, I spoke too soon. Goes for a second round. Goes for another dive. Takes a lot more damage. We'll get 4 probes in total. Not bad. It does survive. Does barely make it out. Jumy trying to hunt him down. Not quite able to. Jumy setting up his own proxy pylon. I imagine setting up his own proxy gateway. How many gates does he have? 2 gates back at home. Blink is almost done, and we are setting up for a proxy 3rd gateway. Oh boy. Jumy is going to be the aggressor. Meanwhile, Gerald's stuck at home. Doesn't deny the hallucination. Jumy slips in. Blink is on the way. Jumy's is about to finish. There's our proxy gate. You can see Gerald, he's scouting for any proxy locations. He checks his own fourth, checks further back, and barely does miss the actual proxy, but he will scout the army. Does spot Jumy. And Jumy blinks in. Remember, Jumy has blink, and Gerald does not. And Gerald is getting caught out. He's getting caught out on the map. The blinks, they punish him so hard, and we're losing too much. And could this be it? That's how many? That's 4 stalkers going down. 2 stalkers left. Jumy chasing him down. We're down to 1. The final stalker barely does get away. Jumy baits out the stasis. Nice moves here out of Jumy. And he goes for the dive. And Gerald, he's in so much trouble. The boys are being pulled. He's trying to hold on. Shield battery putting in a lot of work as well. There's the energy overcharge. But it's still 6 stalkers. Still double the stalker count. Reinforcements are on the way. Gerald does have the defender's advantage. But it might just be too much. Shield battery is going to be going down. Backup shield battery on the way. Gerald just trying to buy time, but he's still down to 3 stalkers, almost 2. And Jumy, he may have just done it. Again, it was just adventurous for Gerald to be active like that out on the map. He was caught out. He was caught with his pants down. And Jumy, he's going to clean this up. I was hoping for an ace match. I was hoping for a game 5. Gerald was setting up his own proxy as well, but he's being overwhelmed. Gerald, he has his own Dark Shrine. It's halfway done, but it's not going to finish in time. Gerald even depowering the gateways is not going to let them finish. He's not going to let them be repowered. Focusing down the pylons. Focuses back the stalkers as well. He gets 12 probe kills. The gateways are repowered. One of them goes down. And Jumy behind this is just expanding. Just expanding. He's taking up. Forge is on the way. Jumy's still with an overwhelming army. And Gerald, he's down to 4 stalkers. Down to 3. Down to 3 stalkers. Boys are being pulled. He can barely lose any workers to begin with. And he will lose that economy. And he barely had one as well. Yeah, 8 probe kills. And Gerald, he's on his last legs. The Dark Shrine is done. He can try to warp in some DTs, but he has no gas. No, he has no gas. Stasis towards the natural, doing what he can. Oh, nice stasis. Stasis does pop off. DT busts into the main. Probes are going down. Gerald doing whatever he can. But GG gets called. And Jumy, he will take the series 3-1, becoming, for the first time, this week's Tenacious Turtle Tussle champion. GG. Jumy doing it himself this time. Let's go. GG, well played. Jumy, he does take the series again. Shout out to both Jumy, Gerald, and all the other European players that did compete in tonight's tournament. Just because it is a terrible time in Europe, it's not too amazing. Let me just double check. 4 a.m. Sorry, almost 5 a.m. Almost 5 a.m. in the morning. Jesus, very late in the land of Europa. So, GG. GG, well played. Get some sleep, happy animal. Just like a bobber. GG, well played. Jumy, he's like, good night. He's like, yes, get some sleep. GG, well played. Jumy will take it. Very impressive stuff. Honestly, when we refer to the European Pro Tour scene, I do rate players like Gerald and Cristiano quite highly. So for Jumy to bring him down into PvP was very impressive, especially in the best of 5. It was a very chaotic best of 5 is what I will say. Both game 1, game 2, and game 4. Game 3 was much more standard, and we got to see Gerald get into his own rhythm and get into his own game. Get into what he does best. Oh, God. Get into what he does best. I was like, get some sleep. You're an animal. You're just like a bobber. It's like, just like a bobber. God damn it. GG, well played. But yeah, Jumy, very impressive stuff here tonight. Taking down mainly Protoss players. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look back at yourselves. Yeah, 540. Jesus, so late in Europe. Oh my God. But Jumy, he was able to bring down Dolan and went to the ace match. If you recall, Jumy did go to the ace match against Dolan. Was honestly a very close series between Jumy and Dolan. Likewise, Jumy was able to take down Shameless 2-0 and Gerald 3-1 as well, flexing his PvP and looking quite strong in his PvT as well. So very, very nice run, nice performance. Gerald likewise took down Rebellion and Nick Racked, but did fall to Jumy here at the end of the night. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. I mean, still a really good performance today out of Gerald. Did take 2 second places. Earlier today, he came second in Sparkling Tuna Cup, and now he comes second in the Tenacious Turtle Tussle as well. Still very nice performance, and we do wish Gerald the best of luck in bed as he does go to sleep. That's what I get some sleep, Pappy. Get some sleep. Aye. Get some veg. As it is very, very late in Europe. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for competing. Thanks so much for taking part. If you enjoyed this event, if you enjoyed this broadcast, do consider following the channel. We are live on a daily basis, and this is a bi-weekly tournament. Every 2 weeks, every fortnight, we do host the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. And not just that, but again, it is funded by some very passionate people out there. Mark BT has been sponsoring this event, and alongside Mark BT, we have had some very, very generous donations by Proto-Stegosaurus as well. Exclamation mark Maturino in the chat if you guys want to donate yourselves. But Proto-Stegosaurus did pledge another 75 USD to the event, so much love here to Stegosaurus. Likewise, big shout to Mark BT as well. And this was the final Tenacious Turtle Tussle of the year of 2024. It's been quite a year. But that was the final event of the final Turtle Tussle of the year. Again, we are going to be taking New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off. So there's a kind of like next week, kind of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday time slots. So we are going to be taking those days off. We will not be taking part in our tournaments. I'm going to say we're taking them off. I believe we are still going to be casting on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. But at least we'll be holding off on running our tournaments, just to allow players to get some rest and enjoy the holidays with their families and take some time off at the end of the year. That's the plan, at least. That's the hope. So again, hope everyone enjoys their time off. Hope everyone enjoys their holidays, whether you celebrate them or not. Hope you enjoy the end of the year. And thank you so much. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for taking part. If you want to follow us, if you want to tune into more of the Cranky Ducklings, exclamation mark socials in the chat. We do post whenever we go live on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. All things Cranky Ducklings. We have a Mastodon. We have a Blue Sky. All things Cranky Ducklings. We even have a TikTok. Should probably add that as well. But we do have a TikTok where we have been posting some clips of some highlight moments in StarCraft during our cast, during our broadcasts. Otherwise, thank you. Otherwise, thanks so much. Do appreciate the support. We are going to be live once again in 5 hours. In 6 hours. In 6 hours time, we are going to be live with the Pondcast. That is our weekly talk show, going over all the news of StarCraft, all the recent news, all the recent results, and any upcoming projects here in the scene, in the StarCraft scene. So if you're interested, do tune in 5 hours. We're going to be live, 6 hours. We're going to be live here on the channel. Myself, Kura, and Yaku, all discussing the week of StarCraft, so plenty of news to come. Likewise, our next tournament broadcast is going to be tomorrow. Let me just quickly double check our calendar. But tomorrow is going to be, I believe, the show match between La Comunidad Latinoamerica and MC. MC, of course, Minchel himself, the boss toss, if you will. He has recently been having a bit of a resurgence, competing in StarCraft Evolution, and we do have some StarCraft Evolution show matches with MC. Gonna be a lot of fun. Again, that's gonna be tomorrow in over 24 hours. Otherwise, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for taking part. Hope you'll enjoy yourselves. Again, do follow us if you want to be notified when we go live. And with that, we're heading off. I'm also giga tired. I did not get a little sleep here tonight, so gonna be getting some rest myself. Just getting ready for the podcast later on. Stick around, we're gonna be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. I'm not too sure who is live at the moment. We'll find someone to raid. I know a lot of the European scene has already gone to bed. I know it's getting quite late in the Americas as well. So we'll find someone. We will find someone. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support, and we'll see you guys tomorrow or later tonight for some more StarCraft action. Otherwise, thank you. We do appreciate the support. Likewise, if you want to support us even further, you can do so via Patreon. You can see our next goal, actually, just underneath Jumy's name. We do host and fund a lot of our events via Patreon, like Sparkling Tuna Cup, Sea Duckling Open, and Master Swan Open as well. So Patreon is the place to be. We recently reached our latest milestone and stretch goal to boost the prize pool, and the next stretch goal is to pay out top 4. Top 4 do get paid out at 400 USD a month. We're almost there. We appreciate all the patrons. Thank you so much, all of our patrons, and yeah, help us reach that goal in the coming year in 2025. That's the hope, at least. That's the hope. Otherwise, see you guys next time. Until then, ciao. Hasta luego, papi. Ciao, papi. Ciao. Hasta luego.